Welcome to the Wednesday stream. Hope everyone's having an awesome Wednesday morning. Welcome everybody. Hey Darknet, you see, I'm glad you uh saw the little updated emotes from BTTV. I think it's BTTV. We have what 10 emotes there. We have the normal emotes as well. From Twitch, we revamped some of these, and yeah, hope you guys like it. Hey Cheeto and Ray, yes, the nightmare ends today. Hopefully, thanks for the follow, Counter Revolutionary Tanky. Yes, we did it. Just giddy watching that Smugmore Air Force One and fucking off to Florida. Well, I live here, so I don't know about that one. Hey Memias, hey Madame Defarge, how's it going? So now you can enjoy the emotes via BTTV, or we have the emotes and in the Twitch section. So we have both. My 70s. It's okay, we don't want them either. I think we... Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, we might we might get a few poor souls. And that's the best emote on Twitch. I do like the little copium one. How's it going? Excuse my sarcasm. Hey, Careless Whimper, how's it going? Yes, we do have a few we do have a few emotes here. But yeah, I've been working on I've meant to do this for quite some time. That I've just never had the chance, and I figured since I'm gonna reinstall, or since I reinstalled OBS, I might as well just take the chance to get in there and revamp some stuff. The birdies have been moved to BTTV. So if you put in, I think it's birdie. Wait, I forget. Hold on, folks. Because I only have so much space, I moved some of them over to BTTV. Oh, I see. Okay, so we have Birdie Fist, like this. And we have... and we have the 99%. Wait, did I do that right? Oh, sorry. Yeah, there we are. I'm not owned. I'm not owned. Trump is still your president. Well, as of noon today, he will not. Biden is Trump. Yes, did you saw that too, right? You saw the face off conspiracy. Oh man, you saw that one too, right, Mono? Or you were here when we were reading that one, the conspiracy that actually they traded faces. So when you watch Biden being inaugurated, it's actually Trump. Oh man. Landslide. Hey, Yellow King, how's it going? Yeah, see, we got awesome little emotes get going on. Face Off the sequel. True. That was such a bizarre movie. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Careless Whimper. Biden couldn't have entered the Catholic Church because he's a satanic demon rat, so the switch has already happened. Right. You see, uh, actually, the face-off conspiracy theory is actually a plant by the deep state. Okay, it's actually a plant by the deep state. You can't believe that. If you go onto the Discord, we have the latest Q drop in which we'll get to see Biden arrested live at his inauguration. Got the free month Minecraft, trapped a creeper in my house by accident, now won't despawn. Oof. Wait, how do you stop them from doing that? Can you add like torches? Is that how you get them to despawn? I'm pretty sure that you can stop them from doing that with torches, right? Yeah, see? You got by the way, huge thanks to my inner voice sounds like Alex Jones now. That's funny. By the way, huge thanks to sourcing support for the surprised Pikachu face. A difficult truth version. Hey Jesse, how's it going? Not been a Q drop since the 8th, and that one was incredibly lazy. True. Completely unrelated, but what sort of music are you into? I'm into whatever music. Basically the type of music that I like. It turns out the deep state was the My Pillow guy. True. Yeah, so basically the type of music that I'm into is anything from electronic music, EDM, stuff like that. Kitty. EDM, from classic rock to heavy metal, to all different versions of said heavy metal. Very, very, very little bit of pop music. I rarely listen to pop music, but I do listen to some songs here and there. So I have like a variety of stuff. Some hip hop, some rap too, depending on my mood. But yeah, I can listen to almost any type of music. Yep, hip hop too. Cope with today by rereading Q's greatest hits. No, I'm not propagating that. Listen, it was a meme. I'm not gonna propagate that. Yeah, I know. This is some heavy cope. It is a special day, but I'm not sure I'm gonna be reading Q drops as part of my stream. But it is kind of funny. Q has been dark for 43 days at a time. Q strategically goes dark for days, weeks, and months. Often when Q is a dark major, MIL, and ops are occurring behind the scenes. Do not mistake silence for inaction. Great time to reread old drops. Enjoy the show. True. Unsubscribe. Damn. The Roaring 20's been living in my ear. Yeah, there are certain songs that do that, right? Just make up some cute drops, we won't know the difference. Unfortunately, neither will they. That's the problem, right? They'll take it as real. Oh man. What are you doing, Kitty? Okay, hold on, folks. I think that before I let Kitty out, I think it's time for you all to meet the Kitty. Come here. Let's see. Hold on. Really quickly before she scratches me. Hello to everybody. Okay, Kitty is on a... Yes, tuxedo cat. No, she was scratching at the door. She was like, "Let me out. There's nothing to play with here." Oh, did I put this on backwards? No, we're good. Hey, Memmius, how's it going? Oh no, I completely believe it. Like, this is the type of stuff that gets circulated, Mono. I have Q level access. What if it actually turns out that Mono is indeed Q? If I were Q. just a little bit. I'm glad I work from home. My fuzzy lunatic can bother me and faceplant into windows when he sees squirrels. Oh yeah. Uh, my little kitty cat decided to try to go after a iguana that hangs out in our windowsill, and needless to say, she did not catch said iguana. Smart. Yeah, I see that. Someone with much with much less raw arcane proficiency. I see. There being iguanas outside is wild to me. Yeah, in Florida, they're like the norm, you know? Very Wellington educated, true. Yeah, so don't worry, guys. Sorry, I was like catching up and making sure I caught up on all the messages here. Yeah, the Birdie Sanders and the little other birdie emote is still alive and well in the BTTV. So eventually, I'm sure I'll unlock more emotes as we go, and I'll keep adding them. As a Dane, I feel like I'd be playing Pokemon Go IRL if I lived in a warmer climate, catching all the bugs and reptiles to be my friends. True. I have caught little baby Iggies. You think this was an 8chan operation? by the Watkin, the guy who ran 8chan. You really think that that's Q? Hey Alio, how's it going? Hey Chaotic Neutral, how's it going? Oh no, yeah, it, obviously, like this whole thing was like a sham. We like, but hey, at the very least, the Watkins control the platform Q post too, so they get executive decision. If Q had any conscience, they would be distraught about how many relationships they've destroyed and lives they have upended. Yeah, but it's just memes, guys. It's just memes. So we have sorry, I got like a little bit sidetracked. We have the two emotes. Um we have one which is a surprised a difficult truth face, which was brought to you by sourcing support, and the dabs which you guys have seen already, the dab, the Bree dab emote brought to you by Darknet, who did much better job at the chops than myself. And the rest of the emotes, the more cartoon drawn emotes as well. It's been self-propagating and more fits under a bunch of different accounts. Q decoder fellas. Yeah, this whole thing is just like falling apart in real time. Hey Tiljun, how's it going? Ooh, thanks for the biddies, Alio. Appreciate that. Yeah, but do you think that eventually it will just kind of fade out as reality as this whole thing kind of collapses in and of itself? I guess we're gonna find out. True. Yeah. Hey, listen, folks. Do everybody a favor and keep your conspiracy theory susceptible relatives away from social media. Social media is bad. I think it's the birth of a new religion. Oh man. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, that's for sure. I'm gonna need Biden to open up and publicly nuke this teaching program thing. What is that? My doomer prediction, we're gonna be living with various offshoots of Q for decades. That's possible. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is gonna be rescinded. No, this isn't gonna happen, folks. Here, in fact, let me. Yeah, this is not. No, it's all good. Trump said he will be back in some form. Yeah, I'm sure. He he said that he was gonna work with other stuff and probably make his own party as well. Who knows? I have a specific academic concern regarding these people being primed for more conspiracy guff and neo-Nazoids being more than willing to lie to get them on board. We're probably going to see a resurgence of Christian identity type bullshit. Not good at all. Ooh. QAnon boomers who ended up on Telegram are sharing the platform with the neo-Nazoids. Yeah, it is a dangerous mix. Oh, by the way, did you see that Status Quo got their stuff yeeted by YouTube? The same, by the way, the same stuff we were watching. So what's the riot forecast for today? Hopefully none. Hopefully none. Hopefully it's just all they lose all how do I say this? Encouragement. Because they realize that look, it's over. Not only that, there's like a overwhelming show.
My hope is that we can all come together as a nation.
It's not about a republic.
Okay. That scared the crap out of me, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that the probability of something happening is very low. I mean, there's always the possibility that some rando can try doing something crazy, but it's so overly prepared that it might discourage anything. We might see demonstrations around the country, but I don't think anything really serious, especially after the overwhelming show of force that has been showing up in the capital, and the fact that a lot of states have activated their own national guards around their capitals. I don't see anything realistically bad. It could happen, I guess, but it's beginning to look like from the height of this incident, January 6th, between that and now, the possibility or probability seemed really high, considering the amount of rhetoric and considering the amount of posts that have been floating around, and FBI intelligence reports, things like that have been signaling that something was really has you know, had us worried for a while. But maybe because they've ramped up security, because they've ramped up investigations, all of this is probably going to decrease that probability to almost nothing, I would say. Still, we can't take that off the table, but it's highly unlikely. A groovy truth, true. There you go. I'm gonna change my name to A Groovy Truth. How about that? Trump not pardoning any of the January 6th insurrection has got to be hugely disheartening. Yeah, like I hope that people realize that you were sold a con, hook, line, and sinker. And I'm hoping that people realize that he never gave a crap about any of you, any of us, any of this, any of the country. He only cared about himself. I hope that people realize that. In fact, I've seen some post of them molding, saying like, "Wow, he disrespected us. He didn't back us up. He called us insurrectionists and all this other stuff. Like, you know, we were conned." Like, really mad. At least in some of these more forums, if you look at some of the rhetoric that's been happening there, they're not happy. I thought he was on our side. Like, okay, dude. You bought and sold. You were sold and bought hook, line, and sinker the entire con. January 17th protests in Lansing had like 6 guys. Interesting to note their shirts were anti-Trump, pro-BLM, LGBT supportive. Yes. Well, no. I don't know who you're talking about, but... Alright, my smoked crickets have arrived. We're eating good tonight. Alright. Yeah, I'm a radical, I'm a radical centrist as well. I have, because my ideas are, for example, I want people to have like food, housing, education, and healthcare, and that's pretty milk toast in my opinion. So I guess I'm the radical centrist, right? I guess it's a lot to ask for. A lot of pricks streaming today. This channel is the same. Wow! Then why are you here? I asked, is it the same? Like, what do you mean, is it the same? Food, housing, and healthcare? Whoa, now that's extreme. No. That is the centrist position. That is the milquetoast position. That is the milquetoast position, Madame Defarge. The radical position is supporting an unsustainable system that has led to people being yeeted out of their homes, has left how many hungry? I mean, there's literal food lines at food banks for hours, has left people without health care. Now that seems a bit radical, don't you think? Right, next thing you know, I would want everybody to have education as well and be fed. I know it seems, but I feel like that's just like the most milquetoast position of all, is to get people to have their basic needs met, right? Like, I think that's pretty milquetoast. Every stream I've jumped in today has been a troll streaming, just annoyed with other streamers today. I don't know whose other streamist you've been into, but I am not a troll. Sorry, my son. I didn't come through. It's all good. We believe in you working and having a job and doing your best, but government is too big with their hands and too many pies. It depends on what you mean. There are certain things that the government doesn't need to be doing. There are certain things that the government is way too much. And there are some things that the government isn't handling at all, like healthcare. And the problem is, sure, working, having a job, doing your best is all nice and fun, but the problem is, even then, you still end up in poverty traps, and I feel like That just shouldn't be a thing in the richest country in the world, right? Like in all honesty, enough with the enough with the memeing. But yeah, I believe that people should have basic needs. People should have food, housing, education, and healthcare, and that's just like how we should run society, as not only um, just as an ethical system, but as just a system that works and functions better. Oh, I'm not asking you to pay for my quote unquote mutant spawn. I'm asking for you to pay for your own stuff. In a way, if you pay taxes, then you should get something out of it. Shouldn't the government that you voted for give you what you need? I mean, you pay taxes, don't you? Now, if you're actually incapable of working due to injury confirmed, then yes, you should be helped. But being helped does not equate to a career with it. I'm not sure what that means. That's not what the government is supposed to do? Then explain to me what the government is for. Please, I want to hear your logic. What is the government for? Actually, a lot of red states are the recipients of welfare, not Democratic voters. They aren't for giving me what I want. It's not about what you want. It's about just giving basic needs to people. It's not wanting. It's necessity. The core purpose of a government for the people, by the people, is that. Is simply that. For the people, by the people. If the government can't supply the people with basic necessities to make sure society runs as best as it possibly can, then what is the point? You don't need the help. Other people do. Nobody in the richest country in the world should ever go without food, housing, education, and healthcare. Sorry. And if you really care about people, if you really care about yourself and you want to benefit yourself, all these things would benefit you too. Just ask every single country, every single developed country about universal healthcare. Trust me, it works. It's not a derogatory term, it's welfare. Everyone who thinks capitalism is bad needs to visit. Everyone who thinks capitalism doesn't have inherent problems is deluded into thinking that is deluded and in twisting themselves into pretzels, trying to justify a unsustainable system in this point in time. Uncontroversial opinion, current existing capitalism is a failure. True. Look at what's happening. We see it. Accept Mono as a crown ruler. Fine. So yeah, if you accept the system that puts people into poverty traps and doesn't allow themselves to elevate and be their best self, then maybe you should rethink that system. Maybe you should question as to why we're in the position that we're in. Ah, yes, Zebra. I had this one-time experience. True. You know that's like anecdote Andy, right? There's plenty of reasons to support a more universal system, and it's kind of already at this point a meme to say that you sit on a waiting list. Well, you sit on a waiting list. Well, so do I. So does my girlfriend. We have private insurance. No, there's no perfect system, but shouldn't we question why we are in the way we are? It sounds like this system isn't working. It sounds like this unsustainable wealth income inequality is not sustainable. It's not working. It sounds like people who are in perpetual medical debt is not working. That's a system that isn't working. I am giving you a better model. I say the government should move in the direction of prioritizing its citizens by giving food, housing, education, and healthcare to everybody. You move in a system that provides the basic needs of people and helps them be their best self. And who pays for that? That is, who pays for the military? Who pays for all the infrastructure projects? Who pays for all the wonderful, beautiful tax cuts to the rich people? Who pays for that? Why don't you ask questions when it comes to paying for 760 billion for the military? Of course we do. That's the point. The government needs to reorganize our priorities to serve its citizens. I don't get why that's always such a problem. Trust me, no one's coming here to invade us, and we could defend ourselves with less. Don't tell me that we need $760 billion. Anyways. That's really weird because that's not how that works, right? It seems like, again, you're twisting yourself into pretzels to defend a system, this iteration of a system that puts people in positions, millions of people in positions in which they cannot be their best self, in which they're stuck in perpetual poverty traps, in which they're stuck without healthcare. These things can be remedied. It seems like you want to find every excuse in the book as to not remedy it. But you haven't given an answer that I find acceptable. What answer would you find acceptable? No, that's not what I'm saying. You're not listening to me. Taxes, instead of being rerouted into inefficient, useless programs and over-bloated budgets like the military, plus taxing the very, very wealthy, can provide a source of revenue to make this a better place. Okay? It can provide revenue to fund healthcare. It can provide revenue to make sure that we have programs where people don't go hungry. That's actually incorrect. Wealthy will not be driven out of a country if just because they get taxed. That was fear-mongering that happened, that was fear-mongering that happened back then, and it's fear-mongering that's happening right now. It's always the same stupid argument. Oh, well, if we tax the wealthy, then they'll just leave. Where? Plenty of places, really, where they will also be taxed. Every stream chat gets sidetracked into the same conversations. True. True, it's the same old boring arguments. We divide taxes on the wealthy in our economy despite our size, we're fine. Anyways, if you want to continue to twist yourself into pretzels justifying this, I can't help you. It's like, again, it's just like you don't want to fix the problems. You just say, well, it's just the way it is, folks. Anyways, on to some actual real news. Republicans take on Biden's cabinet, but without the Trumpian fury, whatever that means. Senate Republicans are ready to move on from the chaos of Trump presidency to revert ideological battle lines and policy disputes that previously characterized Washington. Throughout a series of 5 back-to-back cabinet confirmation hearings on Tuesday, Senate Republicans displayed a return to normal posture, staking out traditional conservative arguments and outlining their disagreements with the incoming Biden administration, but largely through a respectful back-and-forth with nominees. Okay. It's a stark departure from the tumultuous freewheeling cabinet that defines the Trump era, and it suggests that Joe Biden, a longtime creature of the Senate, has at least a chance of success in his bid to work with the GOP. Top Republicans signaled their interest in quickly confirming his intelligence chief, Treasury Secretary, and Homeland Security Secretary. I think it's very important that we have a Secretary of Homeland Security in place as soon as possible, said Mitt Romney. But Tuesday's confirmation hearings showed that Biden could soon run into the scorched earth politics that Democrats lament, having seized much of the Republican Party. Josh Hawley declared that he would reject a swift consideration of Biden's nominee to lead Department of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, all but ensuring Biden won't have some of his top national officials confirmed on Inauguration Day as Trump and his predecessors did. Now, I have a question. When is this inauguration? Is it later on? Later on? I saw 6 p.m. Or is it? I also saw 12 p.m. as a 12 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so I got 2. Yes, it's 12 p.m. (12 p.m. Eastern). 12 p.m. Eastern. Okay. All right. We'll see if we can. We'll see what we can do to try to stream it. I think it's on Facebook Live as well. because obviously I will be working during that time. Maybe I can just like shut myself off and put it on mute and just kind of show the inauguration. I don't know. Yeah, I heard they were streaming it. I saw the events streaming on Facebook. Mayorkas came under scrutiny at his hearing from some Republicans over a 2015 Inspector General report put outline allegations of politically motivated favoritism with insurances of Visa, which he rejected. But Hawley's objection focused on what the Missouri Republican perceived as Mayorkas' hostility to border security measures that he and other immigration hardliners support. Okie doke. Yeah, maybe not. Everyone and their mother will be streaming it on Twitch anyways. That's true. That's another good point. Maybe we can just maybe I'll just leave it on Discord. I don't know. Or maybe I can just like post the link and before I head out I can just like post a link or something or raid into somebody who's streaming it. That way I can give also a little boost to anybody who's streaming it. Let's see. Anybody who's streaming it, I can just throw Oh, that's right. Dylan Burns is also gonna be down there live at the Capitol. That's right. I forgot about that. Dylan Burns is gonna be live at the Capitol. Oh boy, that might be interesting as well. There's so much like stuff to watch. How do we keep up with all of this, right? Yeah. So I will be, raiding into, someone who's streaming it. The guy that Mod4 is gonna be streaming it. Yeah, there's gonna be a few people. I'm hoping it's an incredibly boring day. True. Same. Oh, he's a political streamer who used to work for campaigns. I think he worked with the Gravel Institute as well. Somebody can fact check me, but yeah. All right. Still, the fact that it was a policy-driven focus that was yet another sign Republicans of all stripes may be looking to turn the page from Trump presidency, which is marked by endless controversy, tweets, investigations that seriously hampered Trump's presidency. Republicans may still try to block much of Biden's legislative agenda, but they're ultimately not going to fight him on every appointment. Yes, Dylan Burns TV. Holy. Jeez. We'll take a look at that in a second. Jesus. Soon-to-be Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has called on the Senate to confirm Biden's national security nominees on Inauguration Day. Such a move wouldn't be unusual. Trump had his Pentagon and Homeland Security nominees confirmed on his first day, but Biden will need Republican cooperation to catch up to that pace, especially with an impeachment trial looming over the chamber. Yeah, so it looks like hey, Mischievous Raccoon. Yeah, it almost freaked me out because, whenever Mono does this. I would like Biden to get up and running, but he has to help. Oh, I see. So he has to help in the sense that he needs to call off the impeachment. However, that's not on Biden's purview. Biden doesn't have the ability to do anything about that. Yeah, so it seems like a whole bunch of stuff is going to happen. It's going to happen today in terms of getting Biden's cabinet ready. right before inauguration, which is about an hour and a half from now. No, 2 hours, I guess. Jeez. It says they were, it says they were evacuated. This is Spain. No. I don't know about that one, Tijin. There's been a lot of accounts that have been banned. You do realize there was a purge of lefty people as well, right? So I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it seems like they were able to. Yeah, that's so, like, weird. Why would... Okay. No. Fine. For, educational purposes, of course. Hey, how's it going? At this point, if you're relying on one platform and is not something federated or completely decentralized, you're going to start with... Yeah, well, like, the thing is, like, you can't allow 3 companies to own... And three companies own, like, the majority of, like, social... They have control over all of social media, essentially. Yeah, what you're advocating for is, like, essentially to break these companies up, which is fine. That's what should be happening. In fact, years ago, antitrust legislation was being considered against Google and these tech companies, Facebook, and was not. They never went. Never went through with it, right? Trump revokes lobbying ban after promising to drain the swamp. Ah, yes. Promises made, promises kept. Weird. Hey, Heat, how's it going? Yes, we're still here. Donald Trump revoked his administration's ethics pledge, banning political appointees from lobbying their former colleagues in a late-night executive order issued in the final hours of his presidency. The move frees former administration officials to begin immediate lobbying federal agencies and employees. Trump did not justify his decision in the executive order, saying simply that his political appointees would not be subject to those commitments after noon January 20 of 2021. Nice. Swamp the drain. Twitter doesn't allow you to say anything with substance, it's just people popping off. Yeah, Twitter is meh. Just like here, true. Kind of. Oh man. Trump's ethics pledge originally restricted political appointees from lobbying the agencies they worked at for 5 years after leaving government employment. The order also prohibited former political appointees from lobbying work for a foreign government or foreign political party. Wow. Did anybody catch the clip from Lecter Fan saying that the insurrectionists were mostly walking around taking photos? Not surprised someone like him would be defending this. Trump, who campaigned on draining the swamp in Washington, previously championed the restrictions as more stringent than previous administrations. It is a 5-year lobbying ban. Trump said when he signed the order, it's a 2-year ban now, and it's got full of loopholes. This is a 5-year ban, which is now not really in effect at all. Nice meme. Nice meme. It's almost like it was all one giant con. Many members of Trump's inner circle have struggled to find outside employment even before he was impeached a second time for his role in an insurrection by supporters who stormed the U.S. Capitol to disrupt certification of President-elect Joe Biden's victory. Biden's team said they plan to introduce ethics rule for their own in the early days of administration, including the resumption of public releasing White House visitor logs, a practice Trump stopped when he entered office. Yeah, so drain the swamp, right? I guess not. I guess that's not a thing anymore. Speaking of draining the swamp, what's the new slogan? Who knows? Build the swamp? I don't know. Gonna get some fresh air and smoke a J. Nice. So, no, I don't remember. Refresh the chat's memory and my memory. I don't even know who Bannon is, trust me. No, hopefully no one relevant anymore. Oh, campaign. Oh, I see. Wow. And so, like, I mean, seriously, this is how, like, amazingly conned. This is, I'm, you know what, folks? I'm gonna give it to Donald Trump. What an amazing con job. What an amazing con job from beginning to end. Amazing. No, it didn't work too well, but the entire con was beautiful. Was beautiful. You milk your supporters, by the way, to the tunes of millions at this point. Um, but in terms of the We Build the Wall campaign, we raised 25 million. Man received more than a million, at least some of which used to cover personal expenses. So yeah, it's like a slush fund. Mr. Bannon is the sixth former senior aide to Donald Trump to face criminal charges. Yep. Yeah, I guess he picks the best people. So he now gets to walk scot free from defraud. He gets to walk scot free after taking taking a million bucks. Nice. Hey, I guess it pays to be buddy buddy with the dear leader. Very nice. Yes, that's true. I seen it with me own two eyes. Nice meme. This is horrific. So yeah, I guess the grift pays, Congrats to Steve Bannon, congrats to Donald Trump for pulling the what is the most incredible grift I've ever seen. Yeah, he's made mundo money off of it. It pays well. Oh man. Okie doke. Okie doke. No, the con from beginning to end was executed perfectly if you were a scumbag. Wasn't Bannon in jail for stealing money from kids, saying that it was for Trump? Not sure. But he got caught up in some not election, some fraud stuff for the Build a Wall. Totally normal stuff. Wow. Okie doke. Yeah, I don't know, Cheeto and Ray. Oh, I see. No, he did not steal Air Force One. Oh, I see. Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Now it makes sense. Yeah, Zebra. This is just one of the many swamp monsters that Trump allowed and aided and then pardoned. Nice meme. It caught on fully when they thought they could dodge the Twitter algorithm by using 17 instead of the letter Q. My sock puppet QAnon Patriot account was called Soldier of 17. And my son's name starts with Q, and while my wife is sad, I pointed out, think of all the Q gear you'll find at thrift stores. You should be tricking people to get out of that. And of course he has to take off his mask, true. I thought they rationed people. I don't know. I don't even know if he was in jail this time. But he got off scot-free, it seems. Very nice. Some of the combos I had with these people, it's pure sad. Yeah. Well, they've been saying this from the beginning. We are happy. No. Not even close. Yeah, it's very hard to deprogram people out of conspiracies. Whoa. I guess I have to do another investigation for educational purposes. Justice Department and stock trade inquiry into Richard Burr without charges. Another very, very convenient article here. Law enforcement officials told the senator they would not pursue charges over dumping of hundreds of thousands of dollars of stock after Senate coronavirus briefings earlier in the pandemic. Cool. It must be nice. Washington, the Justice Department informed Senator Burr, Republican of North Carolina, on Tuesday that it would not pursue insider trading charges against him, quietly ending a months-long investigation into his dumping of hundreds of thousands of dollars of stock in the turbulent days of the coronavirus pandemic. So I think to avoid this, we should probably make it so that members of Congress, senators, and House of Representatives alike should not be allowed to hold stocks. Period. Full stop. The decision by the department effectively cleared a cloud of legal jeopardy that has loomed over Mr. Burr since the sales were first disclosed in March. At the crux of the case was whether Mr. Burr, then the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, had acted based on non-public information about the contagion that he received at senator-only briefings. A handful of other senators drew similar scrutiny for their trades over the same period and were cleared in the spring and summer. Mr. Burr's case proved far more complicated and included grand jury subpoenas and search for his electronic storage accounts. At one point, FBI seized his cell phone, a highly invasive tactic for a sitting member of Congress that required sign-off by Attorney General Barr. Mr. Burr insisted throughout that he acted within the law but preemptively stepped down from his Intelligence Committee to avoid any distractions that adopted a low profile in the Senate. He had already planned to retire when his term ends in 2022. Tonight, the Justice Department informed that it has concluded its review of my personal finance transactions conducted early last year. The case is now closed. I'm glad to hear it. My focus has been and will continue to be working for the people of North Carolina during this difficult time for our nation. Yep. Okie doke. The Justice Department's decision in the Burr case came after prosecutors in Washington quietly closed two other politically fraught cases this fall without charges, a person familiar with the matter said Tuesday when asked about other delicate cases. In one inquiry codenamed Operation Echo, investigators opened the leak case into Washington Post column that about phone calls in late 2016 between Sergei Kislyak, the former Russian ambassador to the U.S., and Michael Flynn. Wait, okay. So this is the Russiagate case. That's not what I was interested in. Here we are. The conclusion of Mr. Burr's case in particular brings to a close a remarkable and painful period for the Senate itself. Criminal investigations into lawmakers crop up from time to time, but rarely have been so many have been under scrutiny at once. Yeah, well, if you move stock values or whatever, after, especially knowing that you're the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, I mean, okay, sure. Though no one is ultimately criminally charged, new accounts of Senators' rush of money-saving stock transactions at a time when many Americans were badly hurting set off a debate in the halls of Congress and the campaign trail about conflict of interest and the efficacy of lawmakers holding financial stakes in companies affected by their work. Yeah, like, does that make any sense in any way, shape, or form? Like, why are lawmakers of any kind, why are lawmakers of any kind allowed to own stocks, right? While being members of Congress? That just shouldn't be a thing. Either you divert from your stuff during the time of your tenure as a congressperson, or you just straight up say you cannot own stocks. Okie doke. Seems legit. Okie doke. Seems normal. Seems legit. I hope that I don't have to remind people that we are not under martial law. Dude's already gone. Sleeper agents know what's up. No idea what that means. I'm genuinely worried about her. Well, I would be too. Her and a lot of people who have, been her and a lot of people who have been fallen into this rabbit hole. She's deep into Starseed stuff as well. That's what the 5D in her bio is about. Oh, wow. Well, I didn't know that one. She's not. Are you okay? We are happy plants? Like, does that seem normal to you? Does that seem like a logical statement? Just saying. It seems more rational than the indoctrination channel on Twitch. There's an indoctrination channel. Okie doke. Manly, where is a new droid de Sunur rule about Hunter Biden? What is that? Yes, it is still a thing. He's probably referring to the idea that the Galactic Federation of Light has already has ships stationed ready to take the Starseed back to Pleiades or whatever. Okie doke. Okie doke. Okie doke. Okie doke. Cool. That's a law that let noblemen sleep with the bride the night of marriage. Wait, what? What does that mean in terms of like Hunter Biden? Mitch McConnell. Trump provoked Capitol siege and mob was fed lies. True. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell on Tuesday explicitly blamed President Trump for the deadly riots, saying that the mob was fed lies and the president and others provoked those intent on overturning Democrat Joe Biden's election. Ahead of Trump's historic second impeachment trial, McConnell's remarks were his most severe and public rebuke of the outgoing president. The GOP leader is setting a tone as Republicans weigh whether to convict Trump on the impeachment charge that will soon be sent over from the House, incitement of insurrection. The mob was fed lies. They were provoked by the president and other powerful people, and they tried to use fear and violence to stop a specific proceeding of the first branch of the federal government, which they did not like. True. Like, unusually reasonable, but this statement is true. And I want people to understand that. Okay? I want people to understand that. The Republican leader vowed a safe and successful inauguration of Biden on Wednesday at the Capitol, where final preparations were underway amid heavy security. Trump's last day in office, Tuesday, was also Senator's first day back since the deadly Capitol siege, and the House voted to impeach him for his roles in the riots, an unparalleled time of transition as the Senate prepares for the second impeachment trial in 2 years and presses ahead with confirmation of Biden's cabinet. Three new Democratic senators-elect are to be sworn into office Wednesday shortly after Biden's inauguration, giving the Democrats the barest majority 50-50 Senate chamber. The new Vice President, Kamala Harris, will swear them in and serve as an eventual tie-breaking vote. The Democrats, led by Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, will take charge of the Senate as they launch a trial to hold the defeated president responsible for the siege, while also quickly confirming Biden's cabinet and being asked to consider a passage of sweeping of a $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill. Okay. House Speaker Pelosi has not yet sent the sole article of impeachment to the Senate, which will launch the trial, but said late Tuesday on MSNBC it will be soon, making the case for Trump's conviction. Schumer said the Senate needs to set a precedent that the severest offense ever committed by a president should be met with the severest remedy provided by the Constitution, impeachment and disbarment from future office. McConnell and Schumer conferred later Tuesday about how to balance the trial with other business and how to organize the evenly divided chamber, a process that could slow all Senate business and delay the impeachment proceedings. My new favorite wrestling move. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Impeach. There were signs of an early impasse during their meeting. McConnell told Schumer that he wants rules concerning the legislative filibuster to remain intact, especially during the power share for the next 2 years. Eliminating the Senate filibuster, a procedural move that requires a higher bar for legislation to pass, has been a priority for Democrats, who will now control the House and Senate and White House. But a spokesman for Schumer, Justin Goodman, said the Democratic leader now expressed that the fairest, most reasonable, easiest path forward was to adopt an agreement similar to the 2001 consensus between the parties the last time the Senate was evenly divided, without extraneous changes from either side. 5 of Biden's nominees had committee hearings Tuesday as the Senate prepared for swift confirmation of some as soon as the president-elect takes office, and is often done particularly for White House national security team. Many noted the harrowing events at the Capitol on January 6th. The nominee for Director of National Intelligence, Avril Haines, testified her own eerie feeling coming to Capitol complex after how truly disturbing it was. True. Yeah, I know, right? I want some of these too, but I'm okay with this one. Hey, Zeoduke. 90 minutes between before this starts. My blue snowball has rocked for its price. Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you think about speculation that some politically ambitious Republican senators might just to have a better shot at the presidency themselves? I would not be surprised. Yeah, I don't know about that, Zebra. Both of them are about as cringy as can possibly be. Like, those two would be about as like cringy as cringe can get. Oh, before, yes, true. Just to be clear, fuck Ted Cruz from Texas, from a Texan. Yeah, I'd vote for either one of them either. Like, who? First of all, nobody cares what Tulsi Gabbard has to say, and pretty soon she's going to be politically irrelevant, thank the Lord. And Ted Cruz? Ooh. Do we need to really dive into that? As to why Ted Cruz is completely unamenable? Only if they ran under the Republican banner so that they would lose. Yeah, nobody. He truly is unamenable. Yeah. I would not be surprised. Excuse my sarcasm. Till this day. So the fact that Mitch McConnell is actually stating this makes me believe that actually it's quite possible they may convict Donald Trump. That's why I wanted to bring up this article. It is quite possible they may be on the verge of convicting Trump if Mitch McConnell is like basically saying like, yeah, this guy needs to go. Who are the other powerful people? The senators and Congress people, elected Congress people who were also using this. Yeah, people like Holly. Shifty Mitch acting like he didn't support the president right up until it wasn't in his best interest. Yeah, he got everything he wanted out of him. Don't get it twisted. Although this is correct. This is a correct statement. Don't get it twisted. This is for his benefit. Oh, the rich guy that organized it? Yeah, I heard this was organized by a few different people, including Alex Jones. Alexander's grifting royalty, true. And this is his opportunity to purge Trump from the Republican Party. We'll see. That's funny. Yeah, that's the same one. U.S. could afford to give every working adult 1,875 stimulus checks for 8 months for the same cost as the tax cuts that Trump passed in 2017, argued Robert Reich, Secretary of Labor under Bill Clinton and the author of the forthcoming book, The System, Who Rigged It and How We Fix It. It's a question of priorities for the country. His comments come after Senate Republicans blocked at least 4 votes that would have increased the stimulus check from 600 to 2,000. Reich comments, were an implicit rebuke to remarks made by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who blocked the attempt to unanimously approve a House bill that would have increased stimulus payments to $2,000. McConnell had called the effort to augment the stimulus checks socialism for rich people. Borrowing from our grandkids to do socialism for rich people is a terrible way to get help families to actually who need it. Except these checks would be going to people who made $75,000 or less. So I don't know what lie he was trying to fill us there. The COVID relief bill sucked. True. Yep. Reich essentially subtweeted McConnell, saying that Trump tax cut for the wealthy and corporations will cost $2.3 trillion over 10 years. For the same cost, we can afford to give every American $18.75 for the next 8 months. Okie doke. Incredible maneuver. True. So, to the people who were asking, but how do you pay for it? A difficult truth. We don't know how we could possibly ever pay for these type of programs. Reich and Sanders are not wrong. The tax cuts passed by President Trump and the Republican Congress in 2017 have added trillions to the deficit. There is no concerned voice about grandkids and their future when the bill is being debated. Despite Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin's famous claim that they will not only will this tax plan pay for itself, but it will pay down debt, his own department's analysts recently pegged the 10-year cost at $2.3 trillion, given the administration's assumption that tax breaks for individuals in large estates will be extended past 2025. Yeah. You can totally tell Pence plans to run for more offices. He skipped Trump's pretty goodbye party to attend the Biden inauguration. Yeah. Yeah, why we are happy? Why? Because they're allowed to. Why? Because we have lawmakers who favor them. Why? Because they buy the lawmakers. So, yeah. The idea that we don't have the money is unacceptable. True. We are a little bit on just a tad bit in the red. Just a tad. Moreover, the tax cuts were and continue to be heavily skewed towards the rich. In 2018, households earning $1 million or more received roughly 16% of total tax cut benefits, despite only being 0.4% of all tax filers. Nice. Nice. Yeah, most countries are. Can you imagine what happens when the whole gig is up? If a good war comes along, you just watch the money appear out of nowhere. True. True. So yeah, nice meme. Like, you see, this is why I get so like frustrated when people ask like, well, How are we gonna pay for it, bro? I know, amazing. Amazing. Excuse my sarcasm. Maybe just budget the military so we're only bigger than the next 5 nations and use the surplus to buy helpful shit like food, housing, yeah, like stuff that benefits us. In other words, reorganizing our priorities and actually diverting that to us. I don't think the question is how we pay, but how much it will cost. What's the cost if we don't? Nobody asked that question. What's the cost if we don't? Because homelessness has a cost, right? That we pay for. People who don't have healthcare has a cost that we pay for regardless. People that don't have food has a cost that we pay for. Holy, this is it's like amazing to me. And shut up and eat lead. Like I don't get it. Oh no, having sorry, but I don't want any of you to have healthcare. Right, we should have ascended to lichdom. You wouldn't have any problems. Exactly. That's all we have to do. Apparently someone has made the calculations. The cost of letting someone die on the street is less than getting their life going and taxes coming in from them. Well, actually, it's the opposite. So I can add you to my skeleton hordes. It's the opposite. Like, getting people housing, just getting people housing is actually cheaper than the cost of homelessness. I really want to see a well thought out plan which acts so fast. I mean, if it's feasible, show me how with numbers. I'm an accountant, that's why I need the numbers. Well, if you were an accountant, then you would probably know this, I imagine. It actually costs less to house people, to give them food, education, housing, and healthcare than to just let all of the externalities build up, right? Because like you know that what happens when people don't have healthcare and people have to go into like the hospital and stuff. You know who foots the bill, right? We do. I like that never like I never understood that. It's like you do realize that when people don't have healthcare and they end up in the hospital, then we end up paying for it anyways. Just to give you an example, we found that 1986% of the analysis predicted net savings, median net result in the first year of program operation. Anticipated growth rates would result in octane for all plants. Hey, here we go. Just to give you another sample. You see, I don't just talk out of my butt. I fully understand that, but we haven't seen a model for building these homes and whatnot, and what the cost be coming. Oh well, I mean we have pilot programs that have been wildly successful. Let's allow squatting of truly vacant properties. We can have different methods of doing that. Here we go. Providing people with apartments is cheaper than leaving them on the street. Creating housing for people costs money. In the past 10 years, 270 million were spent on construction, purchase, and renovation of housing as part of the Housing First program. However, Yuha Kaiken points out this is far less than the cost of homelessness itself, because when people are in an emergency situation, emergencies are also frequent. Assaults, injuries, breakdowns of the police, healthcare, and justice systems are more than often call up and step in, and this also costs money. Like, there's a negative externalities to just leaving people on the street, okay? And there's different things that you can do to get there. You can get there by buying up, making like a government buyback program for all these empty houses. You can repurpose buildings to become like government housing where people can be provided the tools that they need, like food, housing, education to get a job, job training, job resources, things like that, and healthcare. Turns out now the state spends 15,000 euros less per year per homeless person than before. So yeah, there's different ways of achieving this. They won't fund things that have long-term positive impacts because they full well know the impacts will come through after their party is out of office. True. This has been in the works since the 80s. I'm explaining to you how we can do this to show where the money comes from taxes, and how we can spend it. Well, I imagine the HUD, Housing and Urban Development, would be the ones to take the lead. And how? Well, different ways. You can either do buybacks to buy all these empty houses. You can erect buildings, government apartment complexes. You can repurpose all of these damaged buildings that are just sitting there doing nothing. People aren't liking the pomp and politicians, but they should have been virtual. But at least everyone despises Trump. True. I don't know what to tell you. I golf, so I would oppose that. Yeah, well, golfing is like a blight on society. That land could be used for so much better. That land could be used for creating like gardens, community gardens, can be repurposed for other completely and way more useful things than golf, okay? It's all about understanding priorities and having true empathy and wanting to actually fix the problem. Imagine you choosing a golf course over, using that land for something better. I'm asking for someone to show me how and where the money comes from. This is like going in circles. I'm telling you how. By either you can make a complete government buyback with all the empty houses or buildings, or make buildings, however it is you want to do it. It doesn't matter. Those two are options. Where the money comes from, taxes. Taxes and reorganizing priorities. And how it gets distributed, how housing and urban development can take the lead depending on each area where we put these government housings. but not showing me the buckets of money. I know it can be done, so then what is the argument? Where is the argument here? I want to see a well thought out plan. Is this, we've seen how this works, okay? Like, what are you talking about? Do you want a dollar by dollar breakdown? That's to be determined by housing and urban development. They can redirect the funds necessary to get this program started, right? Like, I don't understand how, like, this isn't computing to isn't computing here. If we have a as housing first program, where again in this case what they did was simply build apartment complexes. That's what they did, okay? They appropriated funds to build apartment complexes with resource developments and methods of getting people the help that they need, and lo and behold, 4 out of 5 of them went on with their lives. Just need the total cost of homeless crime and drain on services compared to the programs for obtaining. Yeah, they did that calculation, Zeoduck, and they realized, wow, it's actually cheaper. Yeah, the money's always there for endless war. I have that book, Utopia for Realists. Like, these aren't just like random stuff that I'm pulling out of my head, right? These have been tried and true programs that have been quite successful, and I think that we can use some of these pilot programs in different states to prove that this can work, and get this solved. But it sounds like, again, people just twist themselves into pretzels saying, well, I don't know, where's the money coming from? I don't know, just to kind of not address that issue. That's like telling all the Walmarts they need to shut down because we build public housing there. Yeah, we have plenty of space to build public housing. We can also do government buybacks of empty houses. It doesn't matter how. So again, it can be done in different ways, however you want to employ it. Okay? This was Finland, I believe. Yeah, America has tons of empty houses. We can totally do some type of government buyback, or even build government housing, build up Section 8 housing and things like that, so that people don't have so that people have housing. No, because then you invite the violence of the state. No. So you understand. You can math it out, right? There's numbers that somebody did here to reach this conclusion. What did the research on single payer find? Well, they told you, didn't they? Ah, gosh dang it. They tell you how much it costs. Uh, pretty sure they tell you. Creating housing for people costs money in the past 10 years, 27 million. So in the past 10 years, 27 million euros were spent on the construction, purchase, and renovation of housing. So yeah, they tell you how much they spent. Yeah, exactly. Like, people think that, you know, that they have an economy 200 IQ brain, and like when you talk to them and ask them and make them think about how not solving this issue has domino effects, which they should know. They should know, as someone who studies economics, that there's stuff like negative externalities that do affect, that can't be measured, but do have negative effects. And it would just be cheaper to just solve the damn problem. You know, like, I don't get what the like disconnect to just solve the problem while we have the means to solve it. Again, it's like twisting yourself into pretzels to do everything you can to not do it. Anyways, what did the research find about single payer systems? As the US, we found that compared cost analysis of 22 single payer plans for US or individual states, 86% of the analysis estimated health expenditures would fall in the first year, and all suggested for the potential for long-term cost savings. The largest savings were predicted to come from simplified billing and lower drug costs. Studies funded by organizations across the political spectrum estimated savings for single payer. What do these findings mean? There's near consensus in these analyses that single payer would reduce health expenditures while providing high-quality insurance to all U.S. residents. To achieve net savings, single payer plans rely on simplified billing and negotiated drug price reductions, as well as global budgets to control spending growth over time. Replacing private insurance with the public system is expected to achieve lower net healthcare costs. Again, what is the problem? So yeah, the next time somebody tells you we don't have the money for it, who's gonna pay for it? Trust me, it's there. That's what I'm saying, Memmius. Like, people twist themselves into pretzels to justify, or to essentially cross their arms and say, well, you know what, I don't know, we can't do this. Let's take a look at the cost, and let's take a look at how much money and where it's gonna come from. Like, you do realize that we can do this, right? Where I'm from, they're ending the scheme they had for homelessness over the initial covering the costs anywhere. Everyone in where they got everyone off the street into safe living conditions. Great results in deaths that were usually that there would usually be for people dying from overdose and robbing, but they're going to end it for reasons I can't fathom. Interesting. No, I disagree. Things will never supersede human and animal life. I mean, unless you want to, again, twist yourself into pretzels justifying this. It just never will compute, in my opinion. I mean, I see what you're trying to illustrate, Mono. I see what you're trying to illustrate. It's just like, but it's just not, okay? Like, never in my head will an item be worth more than a human life. I don't even know, Mono. Sometimes I do believe, sometimes I don't. But I see the illustration of the point. Because at the end of the day, it benefits me too, does it not? I do benefit from universal healthcare. I do benefit from making sure that I will never be homeless. I do benefit from the fact that I will never go hungry. I do benefit from the fact that I will never have to worry about healthcare. I mean, that's just something that benefits me anyways. Why wouldn't I want it? Thank you so much, Anonymous Gifter, for the tier 1 sub to Sergeant Hoffman. Thank you. I appreciate that. Woof. Thank you, Anonymous Gifter, for another tier 1 sub to Zeoduke. Appreciate that. Wow. Just hitting it off strong. Thank you. Oops. Isn't the swearing in supposed to start soon? Yeah, at 12. Less than an hour. The wall you're gonna hit is that for a lot of people, property ownership is human. Yeah, I'm not saying that everybody should like be like one fell swoop and people just get their stuff taken away. I'm not advocating for that. I'm saying that the priorities that we have now are wrong. Okay? We can, and because we can, we should make sure that no one in this country goes hungry, no one is without food, housing, education, or healthcare. Not having proper rights for some equals lack of freedom, and any perceived reduction in proper rights is a slight against society. Right, but you're like, I think that people have a hard time grasping the um and I think they're conflating a lot of things. Like, are you really free? While you have tens of thousands of medical debt when it doesn't need to be, are you really free to get an education at the exchange of being a hamster in a hamster wheel? Are you really free as you're out on the street? I don't think so. Nobody's talking about stealing property. Except for Mono, apparently. Again, the stuff that I'm talking about can be done right now. If we wanted. The stuff that I want can be done right now. Shall we have the political will to actually work for the people, to actually benefit the people? Any other objection is just a cop-out. Tear down stores. But those are private. Or is it okay for one private entity to fall, but not the other because it's yours? Anyways, the point is, you can do this right now. We can do this right now. We have plenty of different ways of getting there. The only reason people oppose it is because they're either propagandized to the point or so entrenched in ideology that they're incapable of moving forward. All they think about is what is now and defending the system that is currently here. This is why you're going to run into trouble if you're upholding property rights to the level that they currently exist. You're going to have to hit them somewhere. Right, but I'm saying, like, okay, those, for example, I think so. Folks, a better world is possible, okay? And this system ain't it, Chief. This system ain't it. We can do better. We should strive to do better. We can. The question is, do we have the political will to actually make this a better place? That depends on us. That depends on us organizing. That depends on on the political will for us to actually move in direction to improve this place. Jesus Christ, Mono. Not in this chat. Not in this chat. What's the first step? The first step is to acknowledge that there's problems and have the will and organization to move to solve the problems, right? That's community organizing, getting people together to bring awareness to homeless crisis. So the fact that we have like hour-long waits at the food banks. We have food banks that are stressed to the max. We have metric tons that are being wasted. We have people who are in medical debt, perpetual medical debt that they probably won't get out of for years, and that's not right. Because we're stuck with a private insurance system. Get people together. How do we separate community organizing from current political teaming? It's not. It's just human. I got you, fam. It's just human nature. I think it should be a human thing, right? Compassion and empathy. Compassion and human empathy for one another. It's not about politics. It's about doing the right thing. Grimzai, I hope you come back down to reality one day, my friend. Yeah, I bet. Funny how it turns around, doesn't it? Isn't it? Well, is it really compassionate and empathetic to say, well, I do believe that people should have healthcare, except they should pay for it? Is that really real compassion or empathy? Yeah, we should help the poor, but it's kind of their problem. And the addiction problem and a lot of homeless problem. Not true. Actually, incorrect, Big Brow. How do we start with the community organizing? Get people to take care of their asses. It starts with like those who are reasonable and want to those who are reasonable and want to talk from good faith and want to improve and have similar solutions. You can work with those people. Don't make it a politics thing. Make it like a humanity thing, right? Because it's not true that you have compassion or empathy if you say, well, I do want to help the poor people, but they should pick themselves up by the bootstraps. It's like, well, then you don't really want to help poor people, do you? It's the other way around. I just hope Biden does what he says he does going to do. I'm tired of false promises. Well, we shall see. I always help when I can, whenever, when day in and day out. You see the same people sitting on the same corner, filling a sign instead of filling out job applications. It's frustrating. It's not. However, that's not always. You shouldn't be frustrated at them. You should be frustrated as to what system brought them there to the first place. I don't get it. You should be frustrated at the system that brought them to this in the first place. Here's a solution. You don't want homelessness? You want to end homelessness? Give people the stuff and tools that they need to get out of it. Food, housing, education, resources, and healthcare. Trust me. They'll move up. Yeah, if that's the case, if it's a case of addiction, they should probably get treated. Healthcare. And quite often it's the reverse. Quite often the end result of homelessness, meaning why you get homeless, is substance abuse. The other way around. Substance abuse is often triggered by homelessness and perpetuated by homelessness. Like, you see, I'm offering you a solution that's been quite proven. Not only that, often you do need some type of address, phone number, to be able to even get a job. Incredible. The easiest, cheapest way to deal with homelessness is to make sure people have food, housing, education, and healthcare. If you give them everything they need, why would they need to work? Because if not, that's all their effort. Like, they'll just stay there. Most people don't want to just stay in government housing. Most people don't just want to sit there and do nothing. Hey, Astria. Like, you give people the basic tools to elevate themselves, to be their best self. That includes food, housing, education, and healthcare. There's nothing to struggle with here. The question is, do you want to address the problem? What is the most economic and easiest solution to said problem? If your answer is yes, I want to solve the problem, and I'm giving you one of the easiest economic solutions that we can do right now, and you still say no, it makes me question whether or not you want to fix the problem. People hoarding things people need, like housing and food, also gets me. Yeah, true. Alright, folks. It is 11:25. I gotta get going to work. I gotta get going to work. Thank you guys for hanging out today. I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the channel, make sure you smack that follow button and head on over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for the follow, Big Brow. What is the argument given against me? As in, like, they live there? Yeah, and giving them the resources that they need will provide an out for them. That's the point. You give them the resources that they need: education, job training, applications, healthcare. Are you broadcasting this where in? There's going to be plenty of people broadcasting this. In fact, let's see. You know what? Touring news. I haven't rated or seen touring news in a while. Hey, Cheeto. Thank you for staying here, guys. Again, thank you guys so much. Please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next stream. See ya. Love the new emotes. Thank you. I work hard every day. I wish someone would give me free healthcare. How I'd retire. Well, that's kind of weird. You work every day. Shouldn't you get something? Shouldn't you get something out of it? Because I work hard. I pay a lot of taxes. You deserve food, housing, education, and healthcare as much as any of us. Anyway, folks, let's head on over. Huge a difficult truth love to touring. Let's head on over. Thank you, guys.